Hi guys, back again. Another episode. This one's going to be a lot quicker. All I'm doing is just running through the predictions. In the last video I did, it was covering all the weekend's action. Um, from the 31st of March all the way through to the 2nd of April. So just going to jump into predictions for the week. Basically, going from the 3rd of April through to the bank holiday Monday, which will be the 10th of April. So I'm going to go from the 3rd to the 10th. A lot of games to cover. Let's blast through them all the English fixtures, quick as I can. Right, so going on to tomorrow, which is Monday, the 3rd of April. Everton's playing Tottenham. I've already done my prediction. I'm going for Tottenham to win 2-1. Lots of people might disagree with that because Everton have been doing pretty decent at home recently. But I think it's got to end at some point. So I am going for Tottenham to win 2-1 in that. Tuesday night, there's some catch-up games in the Premier League. Bournemouth's playing against Brighton. Brighton are fighting for Europe on the one hand. Bournemouth are fighting for their survival. I've seen Bournemouth beat Fulham, but Fulham were on a bad run in the last 3 or 4 games. Will it be too much against Brighton? Brighton are a pretty combative team. They came from behind towards the end against Brentford in a 3-3 draw in the last game. I think that Brighton will just have just that little bit too much for Bournemouth, and I'm going to go for a 3-2 win to Brighton, which is quite a few goals. Normally people play it safe and do 1 or 2-1. We don't do that on this channel. We go with the mad results sometimes. So I'm going to go 3-2 Brighton. Chelsea against Liverpool. Literally just found out that Chelsea sacked Graham Potter, their manager. He came from Brighton, having talked about Brighton in the last prediction. Chelsea, they're on bad form, to be fair. I think even with Graham Potter gone, mind you, having said that, Liverpool are doing really bad this season. They just got smashed 4-1 on Saturday by Manchester City away. Not much of a surprise, but you thought they would have put up a better fight, especially with Haaland not playing. I think this might be a tight game, but I might just go in favour of Liverpool, and I'm actually going to go for Liverpool to get a 1-0 win here. So go 1-0 to Liverpool. And then we got Leeds against Nottingham Forest, my beloved team. Going to be a tough game. Leeds, though, are getting smashed quite a bit by a few teams. At home, they're okay, but they're nothing special either. But I'm just going to play it safe, I think, on this one. We're not scoring a lot of goals, but I do think we need to get some points on the board. Will we get a win? I don't think we can do, but I think the best we can hope for is a 1-1 draw, which we've had at Everton and places like that this season. So I think we can do it at Leeds. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw there. Leicester against Aston Villa. They've just lost their manager, as I said in the previous episode, Brendan Rodgers. I think this is a Midlands derby, obviously. Villa are on really great form, and I think Villa are going to show up Leicester, and I'm going to go for Villa to win this one 2-1. To add to their great win they had at the weekend against away at Chelsea 2-0. And then on Wednesday night, 2 more catch-up games in the Prem. Manchester United's playing Brentford. Manchester United are having not a great season. They're in 4th in the league. They have won the League Cup, but they're playing against Brentford. Brentford are on fire at the moment. They are getting some great results. They had a 3-3 draw at Brighton. I actually fancy them to get a draw here at Manchester United. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw in that game. Might shock a few people because Man United have been so good at home, but go for a 2-2 there on the Wednesday night game. Then we got West Ham playing at home again after playing at home to Southampton and winning 1-0 today on the Sunday. But on the Wednesday night, they're playing Newcastle. Newcastle, they're on such good form at the moment. They've won 2-1 away at Forest. They've just beaten Manchester United 2-0 at home. I think Newcastle have got something really special this season. I think they're going to maintain that 3rd spot, and I think that's where they're going to finish at the end of it all. So I'm going to go for Newcastle to win that game, and I'm going to go for Newcastle to win quite comfortably. I'm going to say Newcastle to win 3-1. So that's my prediction for that, even though my dad supports West Ham and a lot of my mates around it. But I'm going to go for 3-1 Newcastle. They are a bit of a bogey team, to be fair, for West Ham at West Ham. They have been through the years. And then we're going on to Friday. Obviously, it's Easter bank holiday weekend coming up, Friday through to Monday. I'm only going to do predictions for the Championship because it'll take too long to do all the other teams. I might select a few teams of people that I know that watch the show regularly. So I'll go for like Bristol Ravens and Grimsby and people like that. So yeah, looking at it, Friday, Easter Friday, we've got Blackburn playing at home to Norwich City. It's a tough one to call, but I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Blackburn, keep them in the playoffs and keep Norwich out of the playoffs. Blackpool on a bit of a nightmare run at the moment. Cardiff got robbed, to be fair. They fought back. They've got a bit more fighting than the Blackpool. Blackpool did pull off a massive win, though, in one of their games against QPR that were down the bottom as well, 6-1. Could be a tight game. In fact, I'll probably go with 2-2, actually. I'll go for a 2-2 draw there. Both teams fighting for survival. Middlesbrough against Burnley. Middlesbrough got absolutely smashed against Huddersfield, but I'm going to go for... Yeah, I'm actually going to go for Burnley to get a result here as well. I'm going to go 2-1 Burnley. Millwall against Luton, I'm going to go for 1-1 draw. QPR against Preston, I'm going to go yet again for a 1-1 draw. I'm going to go Reading against Birmingham. I'm going to say 2-0 shot to Birmingham to win that one. Rotherham against West Bromwich Albion, I'm going to go for West Bromwich Albion to win that one 2-1. Sheffield United against Wigan, I'm going to say 3-1 to Sheffield United. Stoke against Bristol City. Stoke are on fire at the moment, so I'm going to go for a 3-1 win there as well for Stoke. Sunderland against Hull, I'm going to say 2-0 to Sunderland. And Swansea City against Coventry City, I'm going to go for I think I'll go for 2-2 draw there. And Watford against Huddersfield Town, I'm going to go for Huddersfield Town to get another crucial 3 points. Even though Watford are trying to get in the playoffs, I think they're having a bit of a mare of a season now, and I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Huddersfield in their battle to escape the relegation zone. And then going on to Saturday, you've got some Premier League games. I'll run through them quick. Aston Villa are playing against my boys, Forest. Aston Villa are on fire at the moment, and I'd love to see Forest get a win there, like all Forest fans. But if I'm being realistic, I just cannot see it happening. I don't even think we'll get a goal there because we just don't score many goals away from home. I'm going to go for Aston Villa to win 2-0, and that pains me to say because there might be one or two lads that watch this that are Villa fans that I know. A few of my mates, Simon and John, that support Villa. So anyway, we'll go in and have a look. Brentford's playing Newcastle on the Easter Saturday. Brentford is on good form, but so is Newcastle, so it's a tough one to call. I'm going to go for another one of my famous 2-2 draws, which I was gone about. Fulham's playing West Ham. I think Fulham are on a bad run at the moment. West Ham might capitalise on that, but I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Leicester's playing Bournemouth on the Saturday. Leicester really struggling for points. Bournemouth they've got a fight as well to keep out of the relegation zone. I think that's going to be a 1-1 there. And then we're looking at... I'll go for Leicester to win 2-1. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt 2-1. Manchester United against Everton. Going to say Everton, although they're fighting for their lives, I think Manchester United will win that one narrowly 2-1. Again, Southampton against Man City. They need to get points, obviously, Southampton to get out of the relegation zone as well. But I think City will be too much for them, and I think they'll want to avenge that defeat they had in the League Cup ages ago when they lost 2-0 shockingly to Southampton. I'm going to go Man City to win that one, and I'm going to say 2-0 to Manchester City. Tottenham then are playing Brighton. I can see Brighton getting a shock over Tottenham. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win there to Brighton. Wolves against Chelsea on that Saturday. It's the final Premier League game of the Saturday. Wolves against Chelsea, I'm going to say... yeah, do you know what? I'm going to go for Wolves to pull off a shot there, and I'm going to go for Wolves to win 1-0. I shouldn't really predicting these scorelines for Leicester and Wolves, but I've got to think with my head rather than my heart, because my heart would say that all those teams should lose because they're all around Forest, but I really think that Wolves will pull off a bit of a shot there. I'm going to go 1-0 to Wolves. I hope, like usual, a lot of my predictions might be wrong, but we'll see what happens. And then on Sunday, there's 2 games in the Premier League coming up this Sunday. Should I say a week from today, really. Leeds are playing Crystal Palace in their fight to stay up. I think that that will be another famous... No, actually, I'll go for Leeds to win that one 3-2. And I'll go Liverpool against Arsenal. That's the second game on the Easter Sunday. I'm going to go Arsenal, obviously, flying at the top of the league. Liverpool having a wretched season, but Liverpool seem to turn it on against the bigger teams at home. I think I'll give Liverpool the benefit of the doubt, and I think I'll say that Arsenal will get a rare defeat, and I'll go 2-1 Liverpool in that game. And then on Monday, it's basically just championship fixtures, and I'll just run through them Easter Monday. So we've got Birmingham against Stoke City. I'm going to go 2-0 for Birmingham. Bristol City against Middlesbrough. 1-1. You know what? I'm not going to do all those. Jack that. We'll go on to. There was a few on Easter Friday of teams that my mates support, and I'm going to do my predictions for those games that I think what they will be. So some of my mates support Grimsby Town, unfortunately, because I come from near Scunny. I grew up near Scunthorpe. So Grimsby are playing Hartlepool on the Friday. I think Hartlepool, they're fighting for their lives. I think they're going to get a 1-0 win there. I'm not going to say that just because I've got an affiliation for Scunthorpe United. They're rivals. Well, not really rivals now because Scunny are, they're getting relegated to the Conference North, 2 divisions below. But yeah, so I'll go for Hartlepool to get a 1-0 win just because they need, and they have shown an upturn in form. So I'm going to go 1-0 win there, and I'm going to say that Grimsby also, they're playing away at Doncaster in a kind of kind of a Lincolnshire / Yorkshire derby, to be fair. I'm going to go for Donny to beat them 2-0 in that. So sorry, my mates that spoke Grimsby, but I think those two games will be hard for you. So yeah, that's the 2 for them. And then I've got mate John who supports Bristol Rovers. Good mate over in Bristol. Bristol Rovers on the Friday are playing Charlton at home. I think Charlton are on fire at the moment. And I'm sorry, John. I'm going to go in favour of Charlton. I'm going to say 2-1 because they've won their last 2 home games convincingly, 3-1 and 4-1. And absolutely smashed Shrewsbury 6-0, so they're on fire at the moment. So I'm going to go 2-1 Charlton. But Bristol Rovers are again playing on Easter Monday. Let's see where they're playing. If I can have a find on it, because my eyesight's not great. Oh yeah, and they're playing Bristol Rovers away at Fleetwood Town, but I'll go for a 2-2 draw there. So that's what's going on there. Actually, I'll go through the Easter Monday Championship games because they're the only major ones that's on. Championship games: Bristol City against Middlesbrough, 3-1 to Middlesbrough. No, I'm going to go 2-1 to Bristol City. Burnley against Sheffield United. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw there. Cardiff against Sunderland. I'm going to go for Cardiff to draw 1-1 in that game. Coventry against Watford. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Coventry. Huddersfield against Blackburn. I'm going to say 3-1 to Huddersfield. Hull against Millwall. I'm going to go for Hull to lose that one 2-0. Luton against Blackpool. I'm going to say 3-0 to Luton. Norwich against Rotherham. We'll go for 3-1 to Norwich. Preston against Reading. I'm going to say 2-0 Preston. West Brom against QPR. I'm going to go 2-0 there as well. No, 3-0. And Wigan against Swansea. I'm going to say Wigan to win that 1-0. Right, that's my predictions for the week. Have a great week of your sport. Bye for now.